My name is Pete V from Blood Red Roses, and you're listening to the Brutally Delicious Podcast.
One, two, three, four. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast. The Brutally Delicious Podcast.
Nice. So I'm Bruce. There's my partner, Rena. I appreciate
Hi,
you
Bruce and
joining us.
Rena. Thanks for having me.
Hey, so I got a quick question right off the bat, okay? Listen to the music, talking to you. What do you hate so much? What are you so pissed off about?
Nah, you know what it is? I mean, I think that for us, music is a venting point, you know? I don't think that we're not angry people. Well, my drummer's an angry person. My drummer, Matt, he's an angry person. He plays the drum, and I guess you want your drummer in a metal band to be a little bit angry. But no, I think that it's just, you know, this music is very cathartic. You can let out everything in your life that is pissing you off, right? And so no, I'm generally a pretty happy guy. I write most of the lyrics for the band. But when it comes to writing these songs, you just this music brings out all the stuff in your life that pisses you off.
And so I 100% agree, and we talk about this a lot on the show. This, heavy music, especially extremely heavy music, is very, very cathartic. But when you're writing these songs and then eventually, letting your family listen to them, are you ever feeling like, holy shit, I said too much, or you're too vulnerable, or I've put too much of myself in there, they might think something else?
No, my family knows me well enough to know that I got these two sides to me. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So they know that I'm a pussycat, with people I love, but they also know that I got a temper and I can get really pissy with components of my life that I'm not happy with. So it doesn't surprise them.
It's like my anger management issues are widely known.
That's right. That's right.
Therapy.
That's right. Exactly. I mean, for me, I always tell people that if you're part of my team, my tribe, you got nothing to worry about. It's the people that are pissing me off. Those are the people that hear my wrath.
So here's what I'm going to say, right? They're going to fall to the hate. See what I did there?
I like it, Bruce. I like it. You got it, man. Exactly.
What was it like writing this record? Did you guys all write it together?
So what I do, as the lead singer, I tend to write the skeletons of the songs, because melodically I have to figure out what I'm going to do. It's just easier that way. Mm-hmm. But I leave a lot of room for the other three guys to add a lot, and they do add a lot in the final product. So I could tell you that an idea that I bring to the band, by the time it goes through the other three guys, sounds radically different. And that's good. That's exactly what I want, So I still look at us as equal contributors. I mean, that's the way I look at them. I mean, that's the way I feel. The process, I don't, when we get into being creative and writing new stuff, we don't overly think about, what do we want to say this time? I mean, I think the songs determine what they're gonna say. You know what I'm saying? You write something and you get a vibe from it, and it's like the song tells you what the lyrics need to be. If that makes any sense, you know.
You don't approach writing then with a theme or something in mind. You just approach it, the songs, for the song's sake, and then let them write themselves out. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I do that, and I mean, I knew that this album is funny. We talked about catharsis. I knew that this album was going to be, that was the theme for this. It was like, just let out everything that's pissing us off, literally, and just kind of talk about that and use it as a venting point. And that's what we did. I don't know if we'll do that on any future recordings, but that certainly was what we did for this one.
Okay. Rena?
Well, please list those things. What kind of things trigger you?
Yeah, I'll tell you. I mean, I'm also a parent, so I mean, we have a song, Darkest Soul, on the album, where it's about you know, what's going on with the priests and the pedophilia. And as a parent, you know, I think of that and what I would do if that happened to one of my kids, and I'd probably be in a red jumpsuit in some prison.
Can I interrupt for a second? They would fall to the hate.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. You know, I just piss. So for me, and I actually know 3 people who were subject to in church pedophilia, and so it's something that's pretty close to me. So it's very easy for me to, with that, those lyrics poured out of me. It's just like, you know, so that was a more specific one. I mean, a lot of our lyrics is also, but a lot of our lyrics are also about, you know, it's like the world's telling you you can't. Well, you know, fuck that. Excuse my French. I don't know if I can curse on here.
Yeah.
But you know, no, you know, you got one life. You gotta take it by the horns, and you just gotta do it. And so it's not all anger. There's also that kind of like resilience in the face of negativity, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and just turning that sort of destructive energy into something constructive and something you can
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's definitely what I do. I mean, I'm not, look, we I know that there's, you know, some bands out there that like kind of take the metal as this whole like, let's talk about evil, you know. For me, it's more, always looked at metal. My favorite metal bands like Killswitch Engage is one of my personal favorites. You know, I mean, they're yelling and they're screaming, but what they're talking about is you know, is that same thing. It's very positive. It's or they're letting out an emotion of sadness or a frustration or whatever. That's what I look at, you know, in terms of what I want to represent and what I write about. So
yeah, Jesse's very, very positive in all.
Yeah, and
all
Howard
was
music,
too. All his posts. Yeah, Howard was too.
Howard was too. I mean, Rose of Sharon, to me, I mean, that song by Killswitch Engage, you know, if people who didn't like, you know, thought metal music was all about evil, I take them, I go, read these lyrics, read the lyrics, and then you tell me that, you know, metal music is all about evil and the devil and whatever, and I'm like, you know, those lyrics can make you cry if you read them, you know. So it's anyway, so it's I just think metal can be a lot of different things. It doesn't have to be one thing.
Oh, I 100% agree.
No, and even like it's such a like juvenile way to look at it. Like it's evil.
Totally.
Like it's our horror movies evil, our sci-fi movies evil, because those are the stories that are like told. And I know there are like a bunch of people who would say yes, yes they are, but they're wrong. They're wrong, and I'm the person to tell them that. But yeah, it's just like it's like Tippy, what was her name? Tipper Gore, like
yeah,
these like crazy monsters everywhere.
Look, I mean, you're always gonna have bands like Behemoth and Ghost and whatever who kind of use that,
right?
Who use that, you know. But look, those are death metal bands, and that's kind of like their whole artistic lane, you know. But that's fine. That's what they do, and that's cool. And they do what they do. But I mean, but that's only one avenue of metal, you know. It's not the whole picture, right? So,
and like Rena said, though, it's not much different than, you know, half of these Annabelle movies or any of those horror movies.
Exactly right. It's
the same
exactly
shit.
Right. Yep. Totally.
Music is storytelling. It's a show, for fuck's sake. You know?
Oh, like, totally.
Like Ghost, for instance, you can't really think that those people go then backstage and sacrifice babies to save
totally.
You know, it's like it doesn't much differ from the ABBA musical, like this, other than the like, you know,
you're right.
It's a show.
They're playing hit songs to people.
They're playing with this visual. Yeah, they're creating this visual, and they're kind of joking on it, you know. So yeah, I'm like, you know, it is what it is. But I think that everything has its spot, everything has its place. But I definitely know what we're about, you know, and it's kind of that catharsis, you know, and screaming at this is what we are, and being optimistic and positive and trying to put a positive vibe or spin on all the crap we have to deal with every day, right?
Are you guys planning on taking this out on the road?
So it's funny that you mentioned that. We right now, I can't really get into specifics right now, but we are being considered to be a support act for a leg of a tour right now. And hopefully we'll have more news on that in the next 6 weeks. We're in negotiations with the band, it's a well-known band. So yeah, we'll know more about that in the next few weeks. But generally, look, I'm going to be honest. We cherry pick the shows that we do to get the most value out of it. Our attitude is that, when you're an up and coming band and you're not widely known yet, you're trying to get in front of as many people as possible. Right. So we always look for national acts to open for, and bands where we know we're going to be playing for the most amount of people we possibly can. We recently opened up for OTEP. I can tell you that we have a gig coming up in the fall. I don't know when this is going to air. This is not live, right?
No, it's not live.
Okay. Well, tomorrow it's going to be announced that we're going to be opening up for a show for Flotsam and Jetsam.
Oh, nice.
So we've had some pretty cool shows that we've done recently. So we're just trying to get on the biggest shows we can.
No, that makes sense.
Hello out there.
Yes, hello out there, everyone. I'm Hal Schwartz.
And I'm Flynn McLean. Together we host None But the Brave, a podcast dedicated to the music and career of Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce and E Street Band are on tour right now for the first time in 6 years, and we're taking a detailed look at what's happening on stage in our bi-weekly episodes.
We've also been recently joined by some very exciting guests, including rock journalist Warren Zanes and Stephen Hayden, Backstreet's Magazine founder Charles Cross, and Barstool's Kirk Minahan.
If you're a diehard Springsteen fan, this is the show for you.
So please subscribe to None But the Brave on your favorite podcasting platform, and we hope to see you further on up the road.
Thank you so much. We'll be seeing you.
I know you said you're a parent. How do you balance all of this then? Obviously you probably work a regular job as well as and then a tour. How do you manage everything?
It ain't easy.
Sure.
It's a lot of discussions with the wife, and my kids are getting a little older now, so it's not as much of an issue. They're not little anymore, which is good but some of the members of our band have young kids still, like 5 and 6 years old, so it's harder for them, right? And as you guys know, it's not just metal. The whole touring industry right now is crap. When I say crap, it's just in terms of artists getting screwed left and right, getting paid a pittance. The expenses are up. The payout is low down. It really is concerning. I got to be honest, not just for me, but just, if you're not the top 10% of touring bands right now, it's hard. It's really hard.
Oh yeah.
And it's a little bit, something's going to have to change. I don't know who's going to change it, but it's got to change.
It's definitely rough. We were just talking to guys in Bad Marriage about 15, 20 minutes ago, and we were talking about the venues now a lot of venues taking like a quarter of your profits from from merch.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And you think about it, bands used to make their money for the kids in the audience, off of their album sales. Well, Spotify has completely wiped that out. And bands, it was funny. I don't know if it was I'm trying to think who it was, Doc Coyle or something like that, talking from Bad Wolves, or 10,000 downloads amounts to like $1,000.
Jesus.
Okay. Not 10,000. No, I'm sorry. No. Let me go back. I said that wrong. 10 million streams is what I meant to say. I apologize. 10 million streams on Spotify amounts to like $1,000. Now think about that for a second. And those kids who are now, or people who used to in the old days buy a $10 record, are now, and which would put significant amount of money into the artist's pocket, that's gone.
Right.
And now these guys, the only place that a band makes money is touring live. And now the label, the management, the lawyer, the venue. Everybody's got their hand in the cookie jar.
And gas prices are up.
Gas prices are up. So it's like, look, I mean, it's not about being rich. It's about, can you feed yourself?
Right. It's changed totally.
Can you pay your rent? I mean, I think if people knew how many big bands there were out there, big bands, not us. I mean, for me, my band's my level, it's no surprise. But big bands where they get off the road and they still have members who are going to get day jobs just to make money so that they can go back out on tour. I mean, there's a significant amount of bands still having to do that, and anyway, it is what it is, I guess, right?
So what do you guys have planned next then? I know you said you've got this couple shows coming up, possibly the other, but are you planning on touring the rest of the year out?
Yeah. So we're going to keep on supporting, look, we have a network of promotional companies we work with and that we're in touch with, and they know what our goal is. So our goal is to get on, little legs of different tours, appropriate tours, to support the album, and, so, we have a lot of irons, things in the irons in the fire, as the saying goes. But this one I mentioned before is pending. So and hopefully I would just tell people that our website is bloodredroses.com. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're everywhere every social media platform you can find us. And once we have firm plans, we're gonna list it on all of our social media.
Gotcha. Rena?
Fuck, I got all lost there. I was thinking about hold on, let me
but I do want to say
iPhone 5 just kept on rambling, and I made Rena just kind of like.
That's right. When you said Blood Red Roses, though, I want to correct just to make sure everybody knows it's BLUD.
That's right.
Yeah. That's actually a really important distinction to make.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, because then there's actually like a song by the same name.
Yes, there is.
Is there any connection to your choice of that name?
No, there was no, there wasn't. We were just trying to figure out something that I'm going to be honest, when we started the band, we weren't really sure what we were going to be. We weren't sure if we were going to be more like a heavy rock band or be a metal band. Because we like both kinds of music. I mean, I would say if I'm using Sirius XM as an example, we weren't sure if we wanted to be an octane band or if we wanted to be a liquid metal band, and I think we started out thinking we'd go more the octane kind of hard rock band first. But then the more we were writing and the more we were playing, we were like, no, we want to be heavier than this.
Right.
So we're kind of leaning more now towards being a more liquid metal kind of a band, just more pure metal.
Right.
So I don't know if that answers the question, but
it does. But why the sprinkle of German on there with the blood?
Well, my father used to live in Germany, so my parents are European. My parents were both off the boat Hungarians.
Oh wow.
They came back in the 50s when things were not great in Europe.
Right.
And they were looking for a new life. So I speak fluent Hungarian. So
wow.
Go figure. Not a lot of people walking around who can say that, right?
No. I'm in Finland actually. So,
Oh, nice.
Hello,
beautiful.
European. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was funny. I was just watching some footage of Metallica's show, I guess a month or so ago in Finland. And it looked like it was an amazing show. Yeah.
Yeah, people were kind of happy. I guess I wasn't there. But
it looked like a great show.
It was a good one. I think they did Sweden.
Yeah, they did that too.
Recently.
Yeah.
Probably.
Anyway, appreciate you taking the time, man. Thank you so much for joining us.
I really appreciate it, Rena and Bruce. Thanks for having me.
Hey, good luck with the record. We'll talk to you soon.
Thank you so much.
Well.
Have a good day.
Yeah, me too.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.